Hi, welcome to Mad English TV. In this lesson, we're going to talk about visiting a doctor. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is that this is called a clinic and this is called a hospital. Okay, a clinic is very small and usually only has one or two doctors working there. Okay, so if you're really sick, you should probably go to the hospital, and when you get to the hospital, you should see a sign that says emergency. Okay, go there. Now, if you're having a heart attack or something really serious, then you should probably call an ambulance, and you do that by dialing 911 on your phone here in Canada or the US. If you're in the UK, then you dial 999, okay? So, here in Canada, we have a lot of clinics called walk-in clinics. It means you can just walk in and say, "Hi, I'd like to see a doctor." Okay? And then you wait for an hour or two and you see the doctor. You don't need an appointment to go to a walk-in clinic. Okay? So when you walk into a clinic, the first thing you're going to see is the reception area. So you go up to the receptionist and she's going to say, "Hi, have you been here before?" And if you've been there before, then you just tell them your name and then you just sit down and wait because they already have your information. But if you haven't been there before, then you're going to need to fill out a form, okay, that's going to have your contact information, any allergies, maybe your medical history, okay? So after you're finished filling in the form, you give it back to the receptionist, and then she's going to say, "Okay, just wait, and we'll call your name when the doctor's ready to see you," okay? So when you actually see the doctor, he's going to say, "Hi, how can I help you?" And then you need to tell him your problems. Okay? If you know what the problem is, then you can say, "I have the flu," or "I have a cold," or "I have whatever other disease or condition you have." But if you're not sure, then you need to tell him your symptoms. Okay? These are called symptoms. You could say, "I'm experiencing pain in my chest," or "I'm experiencing dizziness," or nausea, or "I've been vomiting for 2 days. I'm so sick," or "I have really bad diarrhea." Okay? Those are called symptoms. So the doctor might ask you, "Do you have any other symptoms?" And then you can say, "Yes, I have blood in my stools." Okay? In the medical world, this is called stools. All right? So the doctor will ask you, "How often do you have bowel movements?" So the term bowel movement is just the medical way to say, how often do you use the bathroom? Okay? These are called bowels. And when the bowels move, I guess you use the bathroom. That's why it's called a bowel movement. Okay? So you could say, "I'm really constipated. I haven't had a bowel movement in 3 days." Or you could say, "I have really bad diarrhea." That means you're going to the bathroom like every 5 minutes, okay? So you could say, "I'd like some medicine for my headaches," or "I'd like some medicine for my diarrhea." Okay, now if you know the name of the medicine that you want, you could say, "I'd like a prescription for Zovirax," all right? So there's two kinds of medicine. There's prescription and over-the-counter. Now, over-the-counter medicine means that you can just go into the store and buy it. Anyone can. But prescription medication, you need a doctor's note for. Okay, that note is called a prescription. All right? So when you visit your doctor will write you a prescription, and he'll say, "Okay, you need to take 1 capsule 3 times a day." Or you need to apply the ointment before bed, okay? So then you take your prescription and you go to a pharmacy and you get your medication, okay? So if you don't know what's wrong with you, and if the doctor doesn't know what's wrong with you, he'll probably send you to the lab for tests, okay? When you go to get tests, you go to the place called the lab, okay? Now, when you're at the lab, you'll probably get a blood test or a urine test or a stool test. So the urine is the medical term for pee. Okay, so urine and stools, those are like the medical. We don't use those words normally in English, but when you go to a doctor, those words are very important, okay? So the results from the lab will be sent to your doctor, not to you. They're going to be sent to your doctor. So your doctor is going to tell you, we'll call you if the results show anything. Okay, so if the doctor gets your blood test and it doesn't show anything, then he's not going to call you. So if you never hear from your doctor, that means the test results didn't really show anything, okay? So when you're at the clinic, the doctor might do a few simple tests, like he might take your temperature. He might say, you have a low fever. Okay, your temperature is 37.8. Or he might take your blood pressure. He might say, your blood pressure is fine. Or he might measure your heart rate or listen to your breathing using a stethoscope. This thing here is called a stethoscope, okay? So he might do a few simple tests like that. Now, some people go to their doctor every 6 months or a year to get a regular checkup. Okay, that's called a physical exam. So the doctor is going to look in your ears, look in your throat, might take your blood pressure, your temperature, listen to your breathing. Okay, he'll do all of that. That's called a physical exam or just a physical. Okay, so let's do some homework. I want you to try to describe your illness to me. Okay, whatever illness you have, try to describe it to me, and I'll tell you if it makes sense. I'll tell you if there are any mistakes or if you could say it a little bit better. Okay, so let me know in the comments right down there, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.